Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about a topic that frustrates many photographers, and that is how to get really crystal pin sharp pictures of birds. In this video, I will reveal the fundamental secret to get these crispy photos of these amazing creatures. And I'm talking about to get the perfect focus. Hi, I'm Mario Kilian, and welcome back to another video. In bird photography, the focus is the king. Without a precise focusing, even the best composition, even the best lighting can save a blurry image. The intricate details of the plumage, the lively expression of her eyes, this amazing texture of his feet, all these elements that make birds so fascinating will be lost in a haze of blur. Capturing birds in motion presents a unique challenge. They fly at astonishing speeds, change directions in an instant, and are often found in low-light environments or with complex backgrounds. Achieving a sharp focus in these conditions requires a combination of technique, practice, and cunning. So, let's start with the focus modes. Today's cameras have several focus modes. The first one is the manual focus mode. In the manual focus, MF, you have to adjust the focus yourself by turning the focus ring until the image you're taking the photo is sharp. That is very useful if you have time to prepare the shoot, but if you're trying to shoot birds in flight or moving objects, this is absolutely not practical. The second one is the IF mode, the autofocus mode. This is the mode when the camera adjusts the focus by itself. Within autofocus, there are several modes that are especially useful for bird photography. AFS, single servo AF. This mode is ideal for static subjects. The camera focuses once and locks, useful if the bird is perched, and usually you hear a beep that the focus is locked on the object. Then is the AFC, continuous servo AF. This mode is for moving subjects. The camera continuously adjusts the focus as you track the bird, perfect for birds in flight. In this mode, even if the bird is moving, the camera is keeping the focus over the bird the whole time. Now, if you have a modern camera, there is the eye tracking focus mode. Modern cameras came with an eye tracking focus system. This advanced technology detects and follows the bird's eye, ensuring that the most important part of the photo is always in focus. This is especially useful for fast-moving birds and significantly improves your success rate in capturing sharp images. But now, how I get the correct focusing? Let's talk about some tips that I find are the best to get the correct focus. The first one is to use the correct focus point. Instead of relying on wide area focus, select a single focus point and place it over the bird's eye. The eye is the most important part to keep in focus. In general, the center focus point on your camera is the most precise and reliable. It is designed to offer the highest sharpness and accuracy, making it the best choice for photographing birds. Of course, you have to set the shutter speed. To freeze the fast movement of birds, you need a higher shutter speed, usually 1/1000 of a second or faster. This will help avoid motion blur. Image stabilization. If your lens or your camera have image stabilization, make sure to activate it, especially when using lower shutter speed. Of course, use a tripod or monopod. A tripod or monopod provides you with a stable platform for shooting, which is especially useful when using heavy lenses. The added stability will help you minimize camera shake and get sharper images. Other tip I always use is to shoot in burst mode. Birds not always patiently poses for your photos. They are often in constant motion, flying or perching for brief moments. In these situations, your camera burst mode can be your salvation. This mode captures multiple images in rapid succession, increasing the chances of getting at least one photo with perfect focus. Of course, Practice and patience is a key factor. Bird photography requires a lot of patience and practice. Here are some exercises you can try. Practice with backyard birds. Before heading into the wild, practice with more accessible birds, like those in your backyard or local park. This will help you get used to birds' behavior and adjust your focus quickly. Of course, observe and learn. Study birds' behavior to predict their movements and be ready to capture them at the right moment. Review and adjust. After each photo session, review your image and adjust your technique as needed. Learn from each session to continuously improve. Now it started to rain again, but I want to give you some uncommon tricks and tips to get perfect focus and so sharp image. The first one is to pre-focus on a specific spot. If you know there is a branch or a place where birds used to land, try to pre-focus manually your lens so that this place is sharp. This allows you to be ready to shoot as soon as the bird lands. In this case, I use a narrow aperture, f8 or higher, to increase depth of field, enhancing your chances of the bird being in focus when it arrives. The second uncommon tip is use a controlled aperture reduction. Instead of using your lens wide open, stop down to an intermediate value like f6 or 7.1 or 8. This improves sharpness and depth of field, helping the bird stay in focus. Of course, in this case, I always use in manual mode my automatic ISO, so I don't have to care about to adjust the ISO in the manual mode. I already align the focus point with the movement I guess the bird will do in the next moments. The best is to learn to align your camera's focus point with the direction you expect the bird to move. This is especially useful for birds in flight. Practice panning, following the bird with the camera, and anticipate the bird's movement to keep it in the continuous focus point. Of course, it is very important to use the high resolution mode in your camera. Use the high resolution so you can crop the image without losing too much quality. This is useful if the bird isn't perfectly in focus but close enough. With the extra space around the bird, it allows me to crop and enhance sharpness in post-processing. Practice during the golden hour. The soft light during the golden hour reduces harsh shadows and contrast, making it easier for your camera autofocus to lock on the subject. Plan your bird photography sessions during these times of the day and take advantage of the best natural light. Another tip is to use bird attraction methods. In my case, I use my handy to use the sound of the birds so that they come closer to me. You can already set up feeders near a well-lit area with a clean background and be ready to shoot when birds came close. A good point is to use the back button focus. I have already made a video, I left you the link here. That is a setup in your camera to focus using the button of the back instead of the shutter button. This allows you to maintain focus while recomposing the shot. Check your camera's manual to set up back button focus or watch my video I do before. Another tip to get really sharp photos is to put the focus point in very high contrast zones. Use areas of high contrast and texture to help your camera find the correct focus. Bird feathers and eyes often have a lot of details that the camera can detect easily. Aim your camera focus point at the most detailed and contrasting areas of the bird, such as the eyes and feathers. A good tip is already to use a remote shutter system. In my case, I use the application the Nikon brand has to shoot from the distance with my handy and the camera. A remote shutter release allows you to take photos without touching the camera, preventing any movement that could cause blur. And of course, set your camera on a tripod near where you expect birds to appear and shoot remotely. And so, these are my tips and tricks to get really sharp pictures using the focus modes in the correct way in your camera. And well, I really hope you like this video. Now go out and practice this and get your sharpest pictures of birds. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day.